Hey everyone, it's Colin from GIY Guy. Thanks for checking out this video. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. We got another great year of content coming up in the channel, all about helping you grow it yourself. And today's video is all about 10 New Year gardening resolutions. Now, I'm not usually much for New Year resolutions. I like to set 1 or 2 goals that kind of guide my new year, but I don't really kick myself if I don't hit them. But just to give you some background on me, I thought I'd share with you the 3 goals I had for 2023 that I end up hitting. One of them, the first was read about 10 books. Number 2 was to reach 500 subscribers on this GIY channel, which thanks to all of you, we're at 560 subscribers, so very cool, very excited to get to do this. Number 3 was actually on my first rental property, completely unrelated to gardening, but when we moved to Nashville, we actually converted our Greensboro property to a rental, and so checked all 3 of those things off, and now we're ready for 2024, getting ready with a new set of goals. So as we go through this list, this is not meant to be a list of goals that I'm going to accomplish or that I expect you to accomplish. This is really my brainstorm over the last 2 days of just gardening goals that could be useful. I really like videos like this that show 10 or 15 goals, and then you just kind of pick and choose what you want to take from it, and you can go as extreme as you want. The key to this is really just make them attainable. I don't expect you to go from no garden to a whole 1/4 acre plot in a year. I just don't think that's going to be very reasonable. So just start small, make little improvements each year, and eventually you'll be right where you want to be. Number 1 I've got for you is expand your garden in some way. This could range from, starting a couple new herb boxes like this that can help you grow year round. You can bring them inside when it gets cold. I've actually got another one down here that looks a little nicer, but I don't have anything in it yet. Or you can add a new raised bed to your garden. This is actually what I'm going to be doing this year for Christmas. Oh gosh. So I got 2 of these new raised garden beds for Christmas. They're 3x6 and 1 foot tall. I think they're like galvanized steel or something. Super durable, and I really enjoy the first 2 I have, so I'm excited to add 2 more in 2024. Lastly, if you don't really want an herb box and you don't really like raised garden beds, then I would challenge you, if you've got an in-ground garden, just add 1 more row to it, and that could be your expand your garden for this year. Goal number 2 I've got is choose 1 veggie not to buy from the grocery store during the regular growing season. This is pretty self-explanatory. For example, if you really like to grill out during the summer and you like corn on the cob, if it's July, August, think right now that you can be planting corn so you have it in July and August and you don't have to buy it from the grocery store. Number 3, grow something that you've never grown before but you've always wanted to. This can be something exotic, or it can just be something simple that you always have to go to the grocery store to buy. For me in 2024, 4 things I'd like to grow are leeks, fennel, shallots, and tricolor cherry tomatoes. All things that we use pretty regularly in the kitchen, but we always have to go get them at the grocery store. Number 4, expand your growing season into early spring or late fall by adding 1 cold hardy veggie to your garden. Basically, when you add a cold hardy veggie, you get to plant it earlier, which also means harvesting earlier. And then also, if you plant it in the fall, you also get to harvest later into the fall/winter. For me, I planted lettuce, kale, and radishes in like September, October, and I'm still harvesting them. All I've had to do is protect them a little bit over the colder nights in the winter. Number 5, help out pollinators by planting flowers that bloom in early spring or late fall. There's a bunch of flowers over the middle of the year, but not so much in the early spring and late fall, and you don't want all these bees to come out of hibernation and be like Sid the Sloth on Ice Age, where they're like, a dandelion must be the last one of the season. Or in this case, in the early spring, it'd be, must be the first one of the season. So plant some flowers that bloom a little bit earlier, a little bit later, and it'll also give you an advantage because those insects and bees and pollinators are gonna stick around your area more because they found food there first. Number 6, start a compost bin and save your kitchen scraps. Michaela got me this little compost bin. It says, feed the soil, feed the world on the lid. It's kind of cute. I think it's just really nice polished aluminum, painted aluminum. Very durable. I think it was about 50 bucks or so. I'll try to find the link for it and put it in the description. No affiliation at all, I just think it's super cool. It's also a good size because once it fills up, stuff's starting to stink, so you need to empty it out. It's better than like a 5-gallon bucket that takes forever to fill and is nasty by the time you empty it out. Also, I love the lid on it. It kind of keeps the bugs out, like fruit flies and all that, and also traps all the stink in the bucket. Number 7, this is a great one if you like to save money, pinch pennies, be a tightwad, whatever your friends and family call you. But buy secondhand as much as possible, especially with gardening equipment. You know how they say a car loses like 30% of its value when you drive it off the lot, a new car? I'm convinced it's the same for gardening equipment. You go to the store and you can buy a shovel from Home Depot for like 50 bucks. But you go to an estate sale and buy the same shovel, it's like 15 or 20 max. I've never seen a shovel for $30 in an estate sale. You can do the same for other stuff. Garden tools, bird netting, shade cloth, sometimes even garden soil. Definitely planters. Planters are things that people like me buy a bunch of because we get all motivated when we're in the gardening section, and then we get home and we never actually plant anything in it because we got like 5 pots that don't even go together. So definitely check out places like estate sales, garage sales. Facebook Marketplace is a great one. Auctions are a great one. Basically anywhere that you can just get stuff secondhand, even thrift stores, all those are great places. Pro tip, actually end of fall going into winter and maybe even over the winter months is probably the best time to buy this equipment because everyone's trying to store it, get rid of it, declutter, all that. So now is a good time. Number 8 is not so much gardening related. It's more just kind of a sustainability thing, but recycle your cardboard, recycle your paper, recycle your plastic. If you're not currently in the habit of recycling, it's just a great practice. Michaela and I have a box or a paper bag by our back door. Once we fill it up, we just dump it in the one of the trash cans, the recyclable trash cans that they provide in the city. Now, if you don't have that, you can still save the box of stuff and then take it to a local recycling center. But just saving all that stuff, at the very least, I would suggest throwing any cardboard and paper in a compost pile because at least then it doesn't just go into a landfill and sit there. It can actually be used to kind of build your soil. It's just kind of a brown material like the leaves in a compost bin would be. Just remember to take the stickers off. Goal number 9 I've got is try your hand at canning or freezing for future use because there are some things that only grow for or you only get like 1 harvest a year and then it's done. So I'm thinking onions right now. When I plant onions, I plant like 20 to 30 of them. And then once I harvest, I don't really like to hang them because I don't have a place to hang them. But what Michaela and I do is we harvest all the onions and then we just do one chop session where we chop up all of them, put them in like 1 or 2 freezer bags, and then we have them year round, or most of the year actually. And then when it comes time to cook with them, all you do is take a scooper, scoop them out of the bag, throw them in the pan, boom, they're all chopped. Your future self will thank you very much. Finally, as we wrap up this video, we've got number 10, and this is something that's kind of been on my mind for a little bit because I always seem to have extra stuff in my garden. For example, if you've ever grown zucchini, you'll know that you either have 0 zucchinis and the plant dies, or you have 10 million zucchinis. There's not really an in-between. And so if you have 1 million zucchinis, why not share them with your neighbors? That's what we did last year. We just walked up and down the street and started handing out zucchinis to people we saw. Well, there you go. Those are 10 2024 New Year goals that you can use all of or none of. Hopefully it just provides you some inspiration and gets your brain rolling because this is kind of a dead time where you can start planning for your 2024 garden. With that, hit that like and subscribe button, maybe ring the notification bell to ring in the new year, and keep growing it yourself. I'll catch you in the next one.